Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined with Makobura. Makobura, good evening.
Good evening.
Mm.
Okay, doing good.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you're also doing good, whatever you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, we are managing. For now, we would say like that. We are managing. You know.
Okay.
Um. Anyway, how was your day?
My day has been very busy. I've been very busy.
Mm.
I think you can place your laptop rightly. It's partly blocking. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
oh,
all.
okay, all right. I see that. Is
Yeah, so
oh,
it was a very busy day, very stressful.
mm,
Too much to be done.
yeah,
Of course, with the little support here in Kenya, as usual.
yeah,
Sometimes you are forced to get out of the way.
yeah. Out of comfort zone, and um,
Mm.
oh, the things. Sometimes like things are very tough. But I don't know. It is tough for some people. It is okay for some people. So it depends. Sometimes you see people who are saying like, "Oh, things are going good in terms of they have that financial and their finances are doing good." And they're living that big life, but some other people are not. And I don't know how that one works, but like that is the case. But also kuna wale hawana na hawana kabisa, na wata unajua, so ni gumu sana. uh,
And yeah, me, one thing I've realized here in Kenya is as much as there's if people are going to school, for example, there's things to do with professionalism. People are going to get knowledge in certain fields.
mhm,
I think we've gotten to a point where even professionalism is no longer respected. People are no longer being rewarded or paid
uh-huh,
either salary and all those kind of things
mhm,
based on either the knowledge or the professionalism. But today,
mhm,
what we've been witnessing here in Kenya is, who you know
mhm,
and who has brought you in,
mhm,
and also how I can say how you partly relate with the leaders, whether you're there to correct. I mean, they like people will mostly massage their ego. That is the current status of what we are seeing in Kenyan uh, companies, majority of it. And
okay.
I think that is affecting the professionalism. It is affecting
Mhm,
uh, the morale of people. I mean, the employees or Kenyans, because that then brings the question: do we really need to be going to school? Do we really need to spend on the schooling system that we have? Do we really need to get to follow a certain career? Because professionalism is getting to a point where very little um, very little is being attention is given to it, and to me
mhm,
is a serious worry, because it is going to get to a point where there will be fight amongst the people themselves, because
mhm,
you know the question out there is, why then did we go to school? Why then did we get this knowledge? If you got the knowledge, you want to partly use the knowledge to
mhm,
ensure that the country moves forward, or the world goes some steps ahead,
mhm,
and you're not being given that. I think that is, to me, is a serious thing.
mhm.
And the government, through the right channels,
Yeah.
should protect the professionalism at the workplace.
So
And I don't know, let
mm,
me just give you an example. Even
mhm,
within the county or national governments, we've
yeah.
seen quite a number of cabinet secretaries who are actually these are people who have been given several dockets.
Mm,
They are running these dockets as cabinet secretaries, but they do not really have full knowledge of the dockets that they are in charge of.
Yeah.
This is a serious threat to professionalism. Let me give you a good example. I don't know whether you did follow. There's a period the governor of Nairobi was being interviewed in the Senate. I
Yeah, I
mean, being
remember.
questioned at the Senate, and majority of the CZs and the people who are working top officials within the county government,
Yeah.
some of them, if you looked at their professionalism and what
Mm-hmm.
they studied
Mm-hmm.
vis-a-vis the roles that they are currently playing,
Yeah.
it begs a lot of question. It brings a serious question that, do we really respect professionalism in the Republic of Kenya? Is professionalism being respected? Is it being rewarded? Look at the kind of appointment that was given to Gausho, for example.
Mm.
Is it merit? Is it merit? We have people who have masters. We've got people who've gone to have doctorates in that particular field.
Yeah.
Are they being given the opportunity to, just showcase the many knowledge that they have in those fields? I think
Mm.
it is a serious thing that needs to be looked into.
Okay, thank you so much. And you're talking about when especially offering employment, whereby you find that especially those who are being employed or those who are being given an opportunity to work, uh, they in other way, the appointment are being influenced politically. You know, it is not they're not looking at the integrity, they're not looking at qualification. But if it's something that is you are aligned politically, and your loyalty to the person, the appointing authority, then you might end up finding that you have been appointed. Not even in the national government, even when you go to this county government, there are people who are employed, especially the relatives of the governors, and and all that. So that's where we are. But that is it. Makobura, I don't know whether you did come across this the Alego Songa member of parliament and the budget chair, Atandi. And Atandi was reacting to an habit, especially that he's being seen, especially in the Luo nation. And he was very categorical that he said that when he went to for a fundraising in Nandi, he walked from his chopper to the venue and he walked back to the chopper immediately after the fundraising. There were no youths that were following him or were going after him, as usual. But he said that he's giving cautionary. He was cautioning the youths that if I go to my car and you come around hanging in my car, and because I'm a government or I'm a state property, and something happens, my bodyguards will shoot you and do not hold me responsible. That my question is, why was he comparing um, the people from Nyanza, especially the young people from Nyanza, where he comes from, their behavior, and where he was, um, uh, Nandi, where he was, and creating that picture, and who are the people who have made them to do that way? Because like they did not just wake up one day and started to hang around the car, and maybe if they want for payment.
I think, allow me to acknowledge the presence of there's Brenda at the comment section, there's June Wesley at the comment section. Thank you so much for finding time to join us this evening. We appreciate. I think on the issue of Atandi,
Mm-hmm.
to me, it is such a, it brings a lot of questions, because
Yeah.
if we are really honest,
Mm-hmm.
look at the situation that led to the death of this young man that currently now I think probably was trying to refer to that.
Mm-hmm.
Or partly, I can say that was a mock. It was simply mocking the death that this young man went through
Mm-hmm.
by putting it in the manner that he was trying to put it, or by trying to converse in a way that he was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because, truth be told, it is the political class who has created and have empowered the Gunism in the Republic of Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
It is the political political leaders under mostly under this government that
Mhm.
has in an open day
Mhm.
look at first when they took power. You remember what happened to the farm of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, the former president?
Yeah.
That was done, and it is in public domain that it was done by the political class. Those people were given an opportunity. Some were paid
Mhm.
to do that. Look at what we've always seen during the demonstrations. Young people being escorted by police officers. They are being paid. After doing all those malice, they are being paid. So the question is, are we really being honest to ourselves?
Yeah.
Why would the politician create this kind of environment that is so toxic, that is bringing a lot of fear, and then now when they're starting to see the aftermath or the consequences of the bad decisions they're
Mhm.
making,
Mhm.
now they're coming out to partly warn the
Mhm.
youths not to harm them or not to get closer to them if it
Yeah.
is them who has created that environment. The truth of the matter is that is a warning. It is a good warning. But I want
Mhm.
to tell you this.
Mhm.
It is a warning that cannot even be respected, because the point at which the Kenyan youths or the Kenyans and the
Mhm.
lifestyle that they're currently living, those people
Mhm.
do not fear, do not fear death.
Yeah.
Those people, if you have money, they will come for you. Or
Mhm.
if you have anything in that your car, they will fight and get it.
Yeah.
I think they should be prepared enough for that, because it is them who has created that. And that is what we've always said. Let the government take serious the issue of security of the Republic of Kenya. And that
Mhm.
is why, personally, and quite a number of people, we were against this issue of allowing people to just be given ID and being registered as Kenyans within the Republic of Kenya. That
Mhm.
again is going to bring a lot of chaos, a lot of problems. The other day you saw what NTV was doing. Was it NTV or KTN? Trying to just show what is currently happening in matters of security. You find
Mhm.
that somebody who is a citizen in another country is being registered in this Republic of Kenya, being given a Kenyan passport. They move around with this passport. What kind of environment and security are we creating for ourselves?
Mhm.
Soon you will hear that the Kenyan passport is of low quality, would not be respected in certain countries. They would
Yeah.
be subjected to serious vetting, something that can be done away with. If it is a matter of the president maybe needing or trying to look for votes, that is not the proper way. The best thing then he should do is, if probably he fails to win, he can
Mhm.
use other alternative to ensure that he rig the election. Allow me, I'm not saying he should, but I think that might possibly be the right way, instead
Mhm.
of putting a country in a situation where
Mhm.
the country is going to have a lot of chaos. There is going to be a lot of insecurity. Today, you walk in Nairobi, I want to tell you, with your phone or anything, you are not sure. Thieves are everywhere. Phone snatchers are everywhere. They can take
Mhm.
your property anytime. The other day, you've been seeing them moving around within the the highways, removing very expensive, very expensive parts of the vehicles. Some of them are
Mhm.
taking side mirrors. Some of them are taking
Mhm.
it is happening every day. It is even being done to the senior political leaders. You saw Moseria, the chief, I don't know what, of Nairobi County government, crying the other day that
Environment.
he parked his V8.
Mm.
And, what does this tell you? I think it is something that has been created by the government. It is the government who has the authority to do away with it. If they
Mm.
don't take this measure as early as now, I can tell you Kenya will get to where Haiti got to.
Talking about the security, maybe before we discuss about the free and fairness of upcoming or the showdown that is happening in Olkalau between the UDA and the DCP, and then who is going to win that election. There was a day that some goons broke into the cafeteria and took some personal belongings of the people who were enjoying their tea in that cafeteria. And nothing has been done. We've not heard even from security operators whether they've been arrested or no, or what are the measures that are being put in place for such not to repeat itself, especially. And we are also seeing a situation whereby the CS for Interior, especially Murkomen, he keep back and forth with Rigathi Gachagua on the social media, and people are asking what benefit, especially by going back and forth with Rigathi Gachagua, going to help when especially the security of the nation is under question and under scrutiny, whereby the rise of Gunism and you know all that, but like he has been going. And I listened to one of the conversation, was it yesterday, with the Nandi senator, that is Cherargei. And Cherargei said that the CS for Interior has really failed. He's not even incompetent more, no more. He has failed that. So that is what is happening. So, and we don't know the security operators what they're going to do, especially when it comes to the security of the Kenyan people.
Can I just add something
Yes.
on the issue of the cabinet secretary? I think this is the time, without fear of contradiction, we've had and we've seen them doing a lot of abductions when they are told or when they're reminded of their responsibility. They don't want to be reminded. It's that unfortunate.
Mm,
I want to say that I think this is the time that we've had the worst cabinet secretary in charge of interior docket. This is the reason why I'm saying so. A cabinet secretary should not speak much. A cabinet secretary should be speaking about serious issues which are affecting the national, uh, you know, which are affecting the national security of this republic. It is so unfair. It is so unserious that a whole cabinet secretary would take a lot of seriousness in matters of trying to speak to a fellow politician who is simply trying to find his way, or who is simply trying to do his campaigns as the next election is nearing. It is so incompetent of the cabinet secretary, who, to me, based on how learned he is, to behave better. He has not behaved better. He has not done well in terms of ensuring that the security of this nation is protected. Instead of doing away and having serious meetings to do away with the issues of goons and the people who are working in cafeteria and snatching people's phone within highways, and the kind of lawlessness that we are seeing amongst these particular goons, he's spending too much time in social media and simply giving I can say he's simply giving credit to the opposition or the so-called Rigathi, because why would you spend a lot of your time as a cabinet secretary in charge of serious docket as security unajibiana na wale ambao wanatafuta viti, and yet people's cars are being broken on the highways, people's properties are being destroyed. It is so unfair, and that calls for some seriousness in that calls for some seriousness. The CS can do better. He, in terms of knowledge, he's a learned person, and we expect him to partly behave nicely and to behave as as a learned person. It is so difficult to understand the fact that Kenya is headed. I mean, Kenya is moving backwards in terms of issues to do with security. Things that Kenya had moved quite a good step forward. Today, the insecurity in Kenya cannot even be compared to what is happening in the countries around us. Sometimes back, the insecurity around the Republic of Kenya, that is in other countries, it was very worse. That is why Kenya was rated as one of the safest places that people would move if not people, the
mm,
tourists and also and so forth. In
mm.
this scenario where there is high insecurity in the Republic of Kenya, in this scenario where people's phones are being snatched everywhere in the highways, are we really going to have tourists coming to the country?
And by the way, how does that one affect the tourism market? Because like
It seriously does. And let me just give you an example. You remember the cafeteria that you are speaking about? It
yes.
is in Westlands, one of the
Mm,
posh areas in the Republic of Kenya that are partly believed to be the safest or
mm-hmm,
partly to believed to be a luxurious place. I actually know where it is. I
mm-hmm.
can tell you. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
What does that tell you? We
Okay.
are seriously in dire need of good leadership.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Makobura, for that explanation, especially regarding our security. And security is paramount, and security affects so many things, especially when you see the population of goons and things that are happening. It scares away investors too. It also affects the economy because like people will not, especially the businessmen or people who are in business, especially in major towns, they will have to close their business early so that or open them late. When they come in the morning, there are those who sometimes open the business at around 5 a.m. Some end up maybe they want to stay until late, which might not happen. And what happens in such a scenario? It means the the returns that they're going to get is going to be less, and that one will affect the economy. Okay, thank you so much. We are streaming in Brother Benson Media and Kikao na Sauti. Kikao na Sauti ni mojawapo ya channel ambayo tuko nazo, ambapo sana sana huwa inajihusisha na mambo ya burudani na gunzo mtaani, na vile vile ni mambo za kisiasa. So kama uko hapo pia unaweza enda katika Kikao na Sauti, ubonyeze pale subscription, na tukienda hewani utapata nafasi kupata yale habari ambayo si tunaleta. Makabura, kuna mambo mengi ambapo saizi kisiasa mambo yanaendelea, na kwa kweli watu wanasema kwamba wenyeji wa Olkalau wamenufaika pakubwa katika uchaguzi mdogo ambao inatarajia kukuja wiki ijayo. Serikali wameleta mradi nyingi sana. Labda tu nikutajie mojawapo ni gesi silinda imeletwa pale, na pia wameletewa viatu, watu walipatiwa godoro, vitu vingi, na pia stima pia kwa boma zao. So kuna mingi ambao wamenufaika nazo katika hii kipindi chache ambayo sisi tunataka kuangalia, ama sisi ambao tunaona kwamba kuna uchaguzi mdogo ambao inakuja pale. Let me ask you, Makobura, when you look at what is happening in Olkalau in the upcoming by-election, do you see IBC offering free and fair election? Or is this election going to be a free and fair one based on what is happening?
Okay. So I want to be very, very honest.
Mm,
Honest in the sense that we've been in Kenya, we've seen quite a lot.
yeah.
And during by elections, we've had several in the Republic of Kenya,
Mm,
and especially these ones that have been uh, that has been operated or has been held towards the general elections a year to.
mhm,
We've seen serious investment from the government side, and the reason they have always done this is because they're simply trying to to capture the minds of the people. They're simply trying to, uh, to play with the minds of the people to an
Mm,
extent where you find that the whole government is in that particular place.
mm,
You find that all the projects that probably the
mm.
deceased might have tried to be, tried to bring forth, and
Yeah.
then are being actualized when the deceased now is no longer there and somebody else is trying to find that particular seat.
Mm,
And I saw Nini Nyoro speaking about these particular developments in that are being done in this Olkalau.
mm,
It is a good thing for the people of Olkalau. It is a good thing for the people of the mountain region. But the question that then is coming is: are we genuine? Are we having leadership that is genuine? Genuine again in the sense that are they able to deliver in a normal environment with normal circumstances, or
mhm.
they will come to start working or delivering when the circumstances are turned, when the circumstances are different? Why is it that with the normal usual circumstances they are not doing anything? Why is it that they are not giving serious attention to do, in doing or deploying uh, you know uh, development in the constituency level?
Mm.
Why is it that
But
because they are seeking for this particular position,
mhm.
the whole government and the whole finance is being brought in this particular place? I saw a member of parliament who is also associated from the government side saying that the other day he came with 1.2 million, and that day he was speaking, he had came he brought
I
some
think
money again.
he had I think like 200. Then he had to go back and bring another I think a million also something of the sort.
Where are they getting this money? I heard him. It was being translated while he was saying that alipewa hiyo amount akuje
Na
nayo. So the
sasa
question is,
you know you've said something here. Ati, do you think this is an investment or it is voter bribery?
this is serious voter bribery. There's no any word or that can be used to describe this.
Mm,
This is a well calculated move
mhm,
by the government to bribe voters in Olkalau,
mhm,
to give or to confuse or to emotionally confuse the voters of Olkalau to
mm,
vote for a candidate that is associated with the government. Why, where on earth has the national government done quite, quite, I don't know whether to call it an investment or bribery. Let me call it a bribery.
mm,
With a government coming with more than 20 cylinders and they're being asked to produce their IDs so that they can be given. A government comes with, certain goodies, and then they're being told to come with the ID. Where on earth would a national government, start campaigning for a constituency or a member of parliament using national resources, probably from the people's taxes, to buy mattresses, to buy gases for it? It doesn't make sense. This is a serious breach of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. It is
mhm,
a serious breach of Chapter 6 of the Constitution about the integrity of the leaders and, of course, everybody who is in the leadership position, because this simply reflects lack of seriousness. It
mhm.
simply shows a clear way of this government telling you or that they are defiant of the fact that they do not care what you guys want to say. We are going to use your money, you are going to use national resources to
Mhm.
campaign in a constituency. It doesn't make sense.
So if you look at IEBC, I think like IEBC have the guidelines and rules that especially oversee on how people should engage during the campaigns and during the voting process or during by election. So And if somebody goes against those rules that they know, because they are seeing what is happening, and ever since the all bits that has been happening, we've not seen IBC coming out to give a statement on what is happening in All Kalau, or you know, just kind of like quote those rules that govern. Why?
Let me say this: IEBC, as currently constituted or as it currently stands,
Mm-hmm,
it cannot, I'm giving my personal opinion, it cannot oversee a free, fair, and verifiable elections here in the Republic of Kenya, not just at the national level,
mm-hmm,
but at all the levels. The reason why I'm saying this is because we have a constitution, and the constitution was promulgated in 2010.
mm-hmm,
That constitution gives serious clarification. It gives the IEBC power. But most of time, we've never seen IEBC trying to punish, trying to discipline, trying to work
mm-hmm.
with the powers that they've been given under the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. The other day, they were being they were being asked questions at the committee level, and they're saying they do not have the power. The question we are asking as the people of Kenya is
Mm-hmm.
the power that they were given under the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
Which other power do they want? Which other power do this is a lame duck. I think that is the best word I can use to describe the IEBC, because the IEBC is the weakest link between
Mm-hmm.
the people themselves and and the leaders. It is the weakest link because it is the IEBC that whenever they fail, we will have projects, or we will have end up having leaders who cannot perform, leaders who have not been elected, leaders who do not understand their role. We will end up having leaders who are deal makers, leaders who do not, uh, you know, um, leaders who have not passed through the chapter 6, the integrity.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
majority of them currently
Mm-hmm.
in this government, I mean, in this parliament where we currently have this 13th parliament,
Yeah.
it we have quite a number of members or leaders who did not pass what the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya speaks about. That
Mm-hmm.
is the chapter 6. And that is the reason why the people of Kenya are currently struggling with leaders who cannot legislate, leaders who cannot make laws which would then positively impact the lives of the people of Kenya. It is the IBC who brought this problem, because if they were, following the Constitution,
Mm-hmm.
respecting the Constitution, they would have barred
Mm-hmm.
quite a number of leaders who are being brought forth
Mm.
by different political parties to the
Okay.
elections.
Let me just ask you about when you look at how IEBC especially conducting or have been conducting by election, because with coming of Ethicon, the new chair for the IEBC, there are quite a number of people who had various opinion on him, especially, but people thought, or quite a number of people thought, that he's going to come in with the new strategies, especially to curb some of the things that we've almost witnessed, especially in our by-election. The first by-election that was done by Ethacon, I think it was the one for Kasipul Kabondo, the one in where Wandai was coming from. Is it Malaba from Injendi? All that. But we saw on how the election was carried out. There was full of violence. There was a bribery, issuing of mattresses, especially by women rep, especially in Malava, if I'm not wrong. And they did not talk about this, the violence. We did not see people being summoned, and it just went like that. And if you look at it right now, it is kind of like the same playbook that is happening, especially going forward to the All Kalau by election. And people are seeing that they're not taking or they're not coming up especially strong to condemn some of the things that are happening. Then what then makes people to have hope that in coming general election they're going to conduct free and fair election?
Before this group was brought forth,
Mm,
there are quite a number of people who had a divergent opinion, or I can say they were against this particular group, and they did give their reasons. If you ask me, part of their reasons, if you remember very well, more so about the chairperson, they were questioning the manner and even the appointment, how it was
mm,
done. But it was brought forth. It was a question. It was something that people talked about. But to me, if you ask me today, if I look at the manner in which the IBC is currently even conducting itself and managing all
mm,
these particular moves, it simply tells me that probably maybe those accusations were true because Kenyans expected, Kenyans had gone through the most difficult, uh, emotional period of electioneering periods. Look at 2017, where even the courts of the Republic of Kenya nullified an election and
yeah.
gave quite a good explanation on what needed to be done and
Yeah.
what needed not to be done. Come to 2022,
Mm-hmm.
similar problems still came. And so, in this particular circle, we expected a leader, we expected a truthful person, we expected a transparent team that would then ensure that there is free. When I speak about free,
Mm-hmm.
it means that currently what is happening in Olkalau, if we still respect and follow the constitution of the Republic of Kenya and the guidelines that were given by the courts of the Republic of Kenya, then I can say the election by election in Olkalau will not be free.
Mm,
When we speak about fairness, it will
mm,
not be fair because how would you compete with somebody if you are a candidate? How would you compete with somebody that the whole government using the national resources are giving 20,000 gas cylinders or gas whatever? They are being given mattresses. Where on earth are you going to manage to politically fight against this person? So that again, if we are following the constitution and we are following the guidelines that were given by the CJ Maraga,
mm-hmm.
that particular by-election is not going to be fair.
But now, Makobura, right now we have to investigate, especially the voters. Especially the voters who are voting, because um, that is like testing their intelligence to know what are the driving factors, or what are the answers that I need are in the ballot box, because those are the ballot box is where those answers are being questions that somebody is asking are being, but if they are going to go with the narrative, especially that we've been given the gas, so this is why the reason why we should vote, if we given this and this one, if it is justified, because like maybe
Brother
as a
Ben,
government, yeah.
uh, I don't know whether you currently understand the state
I
of
do
the
I do
economy in
understand,
the
you
Republic
know
of Kenya.
I
Mm.
do understand the state of economy, but you
Let
know
me
let
let
me
me
just let me just explain for you something here, so that we can at least have agreement somewhere here, uh, because like this is a competition that both the government and opposition are are in, and each one of them, the opposition and maybe the DCP and the UDM, they want to have a member of parliament. That is, let's take in that angle, and we have the people who want to be represented. You know, what do the people of All Kalau, especially that constituency, what do they want? you know. But if all said and done, government bringing all the goodies that the government is having or giving, and maybe the policies that the opposition are giving, it all boils down to the people of all Kalau to decide on who they want, you know. And if the goodies are going to give them free and fair, they can get the goodies. Then the IEBC offers free and fair election, whereby if he wins, or if the candidate from government side wins, he wins on a free and fair, which I don't think so, because like based on what is happening. But it boils down to the people. What do they want? The people of Olkalau.
I get that bit, and
Mm,
whatever you're saying is true, and it should be the practical thing on the ground.
mm-hmm.
But let me just give a clarification. You know, the biggest mandate of uh, IEBC is to ensure that there is free, fair, and of course verifiable elections
Yeah.
that would then translate to giving the leader.
Yes.
But you know, if you remember what the CJ Maraga did say, that election is a process. It starts from an individual having the ID or presenting themselves. It starts at the ballot at the ballot, and then there are stages. It is a process.
Mm,
In this case, allow me to also use the same narrative and say that it is a process in this manner. It starts from an individual saying
yeah.
that I'm interested in this particular position, and then they look for a political party,
Yeah.
which in this case, we have quite a number of people who have presented themselves either through independent
Yeah.
or through political parties. The other thing that then is coming is you are now at the political party.
Yes.
Are the political party adhering to the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya? Are they adhering to what they're supposed to do and what they're supposed not to do?
Yeah.
That again is very critical. And that
Mm,
is what will then, at the end of this process, will give us a free, fair,
fair.
and verifiable election. But in this case, we already at the campaign point. Whatever is currently happening, which is part of the process of getting a leader,
Mm-hmm.
it is already not the right one. It
True.
is already a shambolic thing which is
Mm,
happening at the eyes, I mean, in the presence of the people of Kenya, and the IEBC is also there, and the other sectors,
mm-hmm.
including the activists, the people who are the watchdogs. Let me call them. How should I call them? The people who are partly supposed to be ensuring that you know they remind the government of their role so that
Yeah.
they don't misuse power.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is watching.
Mm-hmm.
If Let me give an example. If this particular election gets to a point where, for example, a candidate
Mm-hmm.
of UDA wins,
Yeah.
and then we assume that David Kenani Maraga was still the judge somewhere, I
Mm-hmm.
can tell you would still nullify this by election
But
based on,
what if the other candidate wins? Can they nullify that? Because it is the.
of course, yes,
Mm-hmm.
because when we look at the facts,
Mm-hmm.
there is no, okay, let me say, if things stand as it is, and
Yeah.
with the bribe and everything that we've seen, and
Mm-hmm.
then let me say the candidate of DCP wins against
Mm-hmm.
the government,
Mm-hmm.
and then the DCP's candidate fails that. I mean, the government's candidate feels that the election was free, not free and fair and verifiable.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, well, the court will look at all these merits and the demerits and possibly say that, well,
Mm-hmm.
we've done an analysis of this
Mm-hmm.
and we can say that possibly it was not free and fair. And then they ask, on which side, on whose side were the constitution not followed?
Mm-hmm.
Automatically, it will end. It will the finding would be that the government side over or they overwent. Or, I mean, they over. did what they were supposed to do, they partly did not follow the law. And of course,
mm,
that is something that is very possible that they might then lose the case. I'm just giving a scenario based on the
mm,
question that you've asked. So I
sure.
think these are some things that we can avoid when we want to avoid things to do with election petition. I mean, the cases that are always following after the elections.
Mm.
Let the IBC be watchful so that we don't waste the resources and the time of the people of Kenya, where you find that cases are being dragged left, right, and center, and the people needs or wants leaders who can deliver. I think these are things that we can avoid by simply
Okay.
following the law, by simply ensuring that everything is done in the right way. That would be my take.
All right. Thank you so much. As we speak today again, Moses Kuria today was under his supervision. There were water pipes that were being distributed in Kalou. So, as we said earlier, during this by-election, especially in Kalou, there's a um, 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 so many projects that are going on in Kalau, apart from boats distributed to supply to support the fishing. Because remember, yesterday there was two boats that were supplied to assist or to support fishing in Kalau. Yeah, that is one of them. There's also tablets that were issued today, especially to some students. Remember the tablets. There's also mattresses that also were done, were given to the people of Olkalau, including the steamer and all that. So wakazi wa Olkalau wamevuna pakubwa katika uchaguzi huu mdogo ambao inakuja, na swali ni je, hao wenyewe kuna labda msimamo habari gani? Leo hii swali litakuwa ni lako. Hebu nikusalimie kwanza.
Mimi msimamo, namshukuru Mungu ndugu yangu Benson, sijui hali yako hapo, na ndugu yangu wa mbavuni hapa, mdogo wangu wa tija hapa Mark, hali zenu ndugu zangu hapo hapa studio, na
Ali
sio kama
nzuri.
pia mnanipata kwa njia iliyo sawa zaidi.
Tunakupata vizuri. Ali shwari. Tunazungumzia mambo mingi hapa. Labda tu nikuelezee tu kidogo tu. Tunaangalia uchaguzi mdogo ambao liko pale Nyandarua, Olkalau. Na kwa kweli kuna vitu vingi ambazo zimefanyika. Tunaweza sema kwamba wamevuna pakubwa, kwamba wenyeji wamefurahia yale ambao wanaona ikitendeka, sana sana kutokana na yale ambao serikali wanafanya kwa muda huu. Sana sana wamepata boti mbili zinawasaidia pale for fishing. Watoto wamepata tablet, kuna gas cylinder, kuna mattress, na leo hii pia walikuwa wanapata maji zilikuwa zinasupplywa kwa around that area. And Moses Kuria said that nobody will be campaigning again in Olkalau because the massive development inakuja. Unadhani watu wa Olkalau, ukiangalia watu wa Makubura, do you see people of Olkalau especially making good decision, not based on what the government is doing for them or the projects that you're getting, because maybe that can be constitutional right, but make good decision to elect a leader who understands their plight?
And I just want to say this. I have two versions for this.
Mm,
For this, first, I want to say that you know, stealing election doesn't necessarily mean that the I mean, when the counting is being done, maybe there are changes that are done in favor of a candidate. Stealing election, of course, like I was saying, it is a process. The same way the electioneering, the entire electioneering thing is a process. And I can say that whatever is currently happening, it is
mm,
stealing of votes. It is because you're not using the right channels. There's a limit and a clarification uh, on which or to which campaigns are supposed to be held. There is limit to which kind of money you are supposed to use as a candidate. It is very well guided, and it is very well uh, arranged. I mean, it is very much it is very much clarified. And so the question we are asking here is, if the government is coming to give goodies as a way of campaign, then this is already bribing, and it is going to make the citizens of that particular place to think otherwise. Probably they might think that if we give this government, or I mean this candidate of the government, we'll be getting all these things on a monthly or consistently. But the truth of the matter is, they are not going to do so. These are human beings. People can be emotionally driven to make certain decisions or influenced to make certain decisions. And so, whatever the government is doing with their candidate is already, if you ask me, I can say that it is already a serious bribe that has already happened. And quite a number of people would vote for that candidate believing that they will be getting all those goodies in a consistent manner, because that is the narrative that is being driven by close allies of the UDA and the people who are campaigning for this government candidate. Well, on the other hand, on the question that you asked, whether the people are going to make the right choices, that would then depend on how they look at the country, how they analyze the country, how they analyze the economy, how they analyze the constitution of the Republic of Kenya, how they understand the chapter 6 of the constitution of the Republic of Kenya, and so forth and so forth and so forth. So it is not easy for them to practically make a decision without thinking or having in mind what has already happened on the ground. And therefore, we can't really say that this is what is going to happen. But I can categorically say that the goodies that has been given to the citizens or the people of this particular area in Olkalau, it is, number one, a serious bribe that has already happened, and it is something that is contrary to what the constitutions of the Republic of Kenya says. It is contrary to the beliefs and the expectations of the people of Kenya. And I can categorically say that the All Kalau by-election is already shambolic. It is already an election that can say there is already bribe that has already happened. And how I wish that we had the opponent is collecting evidences that he would present before the courts of the Republic of Kenya, because these are enough evidence. There's no way, just like I was saying, that you are a candidate and a government candidate it's like the whole government of the Republic of Kenya has now invested in ensuring that this candidate wins. And the worst thing is, where is this money coming from? That is the other question that people are asking. This is money that is coming from the taxes. This is Kenyans' money. Truth be told, or truth be said, let us not even sugarcoat. It is. It is on record. We've seen members. We've seen these people who are campaigning, speaking openly, talking about how they have the money, how they've been given the money, and the plans. You spoke about Moses Kuria and what he took over there. And that then even reminds me of who Moses Kuria is. Moses Kuria was a former cabinet secretary who, by the grace of the people who went to the demonstration, he was partly, I can say, partly demoted. But while serving as the advisors of the president, he decided to resign. And the reasons that he brought forth or he spoke about, he did say that, uh, I don't know if you can even remember. If you look at the narrative that he was trying to bring forth, and you look at what is happening. He said that he's going to to form his party and move his way. There's a time here he came and he was speaking like he did not believe in what the president was doing. And it was questioned. Rigathi Gachagua questioned this. The people of Kenya questioned this. When the people of Kenya have gotten to understand who he is and how he's pretending to be speaking on behalf of the people of Kenya, and yet he's been sent by the government as a spy to get some information or to, to confuse the people, he keeps on speaking for the government, while on the other hand, he keeps on saying it is not right. Let us be honest and speak truth as it is. The United Democratic Party or the Kenya Kwanza group, whatever they're doing in Kalou is not right. It is against the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. And whenever people are going for election, the elections should be free, fair, and of course, verifiable. The ground should be a ground that is favorable for every candidate that is going to vie for that particular seat. And that is what I can say. Msimamo, I'll give you a chance to give your views on what
Ndugu yangu
dropped.
ndugu yangu Mark, itabidi nipe nafasi kweli, maana sina mbao hapa za kukaa. Nimeweka hapa naona na swasi sie nikatimuliwa kabla sijazungumza yangu kidogo, so labda pengine ni katize tu ili kutize tu angalau nizungumze machache, ndivyo nikitimuliwa hapa at least nitakuwa nimezungumza mawili matatu, maana la sivyo basi nitaishia kusikiza na mwisho siku utanipata nimepotea, na nikipotea ndo basi. Langu la haraka haraka ni kwamba hivi, la kuvunda halina ubani siku zote, la kuvunda halina ubani. Mbona yasifanyike tangia awali kama ni maendeleo ya kweli? Hatukatai hayo maendeleo, hayo magasi silinda yote wanawafanya, lakini kipindi hiki cha election, hilo ndio swali najiuliza kama msimamo. Vile vile umeleka wazi haswa kwamba ni kinyume haswa na katiba tulionayo. Umeona kwamba hii ni bribery, kwa sababu mbona wangojee haswa katika kampeni hizi ndio waleta yote wanayoyaleta? Walikuwa wapi all those years? Walikuwa wapi kama kulikuwa na tija kama hili? Unaona, alafu mbona Ole Kalou peke yake tu na kipindi hiki, wakati kuna sehemu nyingi ambazo haswa ni za taifa hatujashuhudia haya ambayo yanafaa haswa kufanywa mwananchi. Unaona, so kimkuthadi kwa haraka haraka ni kwamba hii ni hongo ya kimpango, kisingizio kwamba ni maendeleo. Unaona, na sidhani kama litakuwa na tija. Hilo tundu langu nataka kuliongezea haswa kwa haya ambayo yanajiri Ole Kalou, kwa maana wameona kwamba fika DCP ama upande ule mwingine utaweza kuwa na mbavu zaidi, so ili haswa wakinzane na hizi mbavu ni kwa kufanya haya, unaona, wanayoyafanya ili kusudi haswa kuhakikisha kwamba wanateka akili za wa Kenya ama za wana Ole Kalou. Fungu litakwenda upande huu, fungu litakwenda upande huu, unaona. Lakini vile vile pia kama pengine ushindi watafanya kufanya, basi kisingizio kwamba walileta maendeleo na hao wengine hawakuwa na maendeleo, maana hawakuwa na ajenda. Maana hiyo ndo kauli yao mbiu wanaozungumza. Kwa maana hiyo ni kwamba asifungamani na hii tabia, maana si nzuri haswa kwa kweli. Ikifika katika swala la uchaguzi, basi watu wanashindana kwa sera, then wananchi wenyewe wanapewa nafasi ya kuweza kujiamulia haswa baina ya hawa walioleta sera zao. Kwa hiyo watu washindane na sera, si kuonyeshana ubabe, si kuonyeshana ubabe. Unaona, kwa sababu pesa inayotumika pale ni mtozo ushuru haswa ya mimi Mark na mwingine. Hebu ikoba ndani kama tutakulu wao. Yeah, so pole ni naweka bagi kidogo mahali. So for real, mimi sifungana nalo kabisa hili wanalifanya, si kwamba labda pengine ati ni mbaya haswa kwa wanakuonekana kufanya kile ambacho serikali wameweza kuwaruhusu, lakini mbona kiwi je kwa wakati huu? Je, nao katiba inasemaje haswa katika hili? So ndio hapo kwenye kizungumkuti haswa Kwa maana la kuvuna siku zote halikosi ubani, halina ubani, na wao wanajaribu kuibandika tu ya kangole chakaa hii ili ionekane mpya, lakini ya kuchakaa, kwa sababu ni siku haya mazuri baada ya haya leo, baada ya uchaguzi, basi ushindi wa Iebc yatakuwa ndo yameshia mazima, kwa sababu wako na ajenda na lengo kuweza kufika kwamba ushindi huu basi wataweza kupata. So kisingizio nadhani itakuwa ni haya maendeleo kidogo ambayo wameweza kuyafanya kwa sababu ya kutufumba macho, lakini kwa kweli ukitazama kimkutadhi hayajafanyika haswa, ni kimeumana. Wameona kwamba gea kuingia pale itakuwa ngumu, ni bora twende na hii ambao bila shaka wananchi wataweza kulipokea jambo kama hili, ili kwao iwe rahisi kuweza kuona kwamba wameibuka washindi, unaona. Lakini kwa kweli si jambo lenye tija, kwa sababu siasa namna hii haina tija. Nichukue tu pia fursa kuwasalimia ndugu zangu wote wale ambao wako upande wa comment section huko, nasalimia kwa kweli, naswa Brenda na Brenda, alafu kuna June, lakini vile vile ndugu yangu ambavuni hapa aswa Gudia, unaona popote alipo, so mpokee zangu. Mark, labda kama una swali lingine la mwisho kabla nitibuliwe, basi nitachangia ili kusudi nikitoka hapa yangu, maana sina ukaaji hapa ni maana bundle zile za ndugu yangu za kiongozi wetu kwamba tutakuwa tunakuwa na bundle za kutosha tena free, hazijafika bado, ndio hiyo kizazi kwako ndugu yangu Maka.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Bwana Msimamo. Allow me to acknowledge the presence of a good dear Gypsy Icon. Thank you so much for finding time to join us this evening. We really appreciate your presence, and of course, you're finding time to just join us this evening. We appreciate so much, and we hope that you are doing well wherever you are. Yeah, so Madam Simamo, there is much which is happening in the country, and I can say that thank you. I can say that the people of Kenya are having a lot of expectation, and maybe Bwana Msimamo, in your own way, do you think there's going to be free, fair, and verifiable elections in Kalou? And again, Bwana Msimamo, I know you are a member of a party, and partly these are concerns of party members and even the people of Kenya. There is much that people are speaking about, or opinions that are coming out based on what the people believe, based on what had happened previously with the Iebc. Do you think the Iebc is simply following the law? You know, this team, when they came, people questioned and asked so many questions. Do you think they have the capability of ensuring that they will be free and fair? And whatever we are seeing in Kalou, it is already against the constitution. This is happening from both sides. Are we going to see such kind of thing again in the general election, where bribes and money, which is money of the people of Kenya, being used for campaigns? Are we going to see this, Msimamo?
Yeah, we are going to see this because hiyo Iebc yenyewe kwanza ni ya one side one side, iko upande moja, unaona, wako kwa ajili ya kutimiza malengo. Kwa hiyo hii tutalishuhudia hata 2027 uchaguzi mkuu ukifika. Bribing itakuwa ndio njia pekee ya kuweza kumconvince aswa mpiga kura aswa kuona kwamba nabadilisha mitazamo yao at the late stage. So kwa kweli Iebc hii mimi itaangia awali toka iundwe na ilivyocheleweshwa na kwa uharaka ilivyoundwa, kutazama jewe ilivyoundwa, kwa kweli hii ni yao haswa. Kwa hiyo hii ni IEBC ambayo iko upande mmoja kimtazamo wangu, kwa sababu tulishuhudia pesa nyingi zikitumika haswa kule Mbere na Malava na kwingine, a lot of money being used kwa hizo kampeni, yani kampeni ndogo lakini imekula mamilioni ya hela ajabu. So uchaguzi ndogo lakini imekula mamilioni ya hela ajabu. Kwa maana hiyo kwamba ili kama waliweza kuruhusu na hili pia linalofanyika sasa hivi wanaliruhusu, ishara wazi kwamba hawa wako tu kutimiza tu kuweza kuhitimisha haswa kile ambacho wameletewa kukifanya. Kwa hiyo siamini kwamba tutakuwa na uchaguzi wa huru na ambao utakuwa na uwazi na wa haki, unaona. So hili tusahau kabisa katika mfumo huu, unaona. Kwa hiyo sina imani kwamba kabisa kwamba uchaguzi hizi ndogo ama uchaguzi unaokuja haswa 2027 utakuwa wa huru na haki. Ni ile kwamba watasukuma watakavyosukuma, mwisho tutasukuma mahakamani na kule nako tutadunda, tuambua ni hotia na kadhalika, then watu wamalize ya kwao. So IEBC hii hainidanganye wala sijidanganyi nikaipa credit kwamba kutakuwa na fair and free election. Unaona, ni ngumu ndugu yangu, kwanza kwa mtazamo wangu, kwa sababu ingalikuwa haswa inatija, basi haswa wangeanza kuonyesha makali yao katika chaguzi ndogo walizozifanya. Unaona, kwa sababu haya bribing hayaanzi leo tu, tuliyashuhudia haswa mbele, haswa pesa zikimwagwa haswa nyingi sehemu uchaguzi ndogo, tena kasehemu kadogo kale kwa uchaguzi ndogo kama ule, lakini unatumia kima cha pesa mingi zaidi, unaona. So I do believe kwamba government imeingia zaidi haswa katika kampeni, si kwa masuala na yale ambayo yanamsibu wananchi. Not only wao wanahitaji haswa kama wanahitaji haswa kuona kwamba wamechukua kiti kama hivi, ndio utakuta kwamba miradi inatengwa inaletwa, unaona. Lakini kubwa zaidi ni kwamba hata hayo maendeleo yanayofanyika, mbona yafanyika 2026 kuelekea 2027? Ni nini haswa? Maana barabara tutashuhudia, kila kitu tutakishuhudia, lakini kwa kweli mbona wakati huu wote walikuwa wapi? Nini kilirudia? Kwa sababu hatuna utofauti wa sasa na pale awali, kwa sababu kama ni bei mafuta bado ingali juu, kama ni swala la elimu bado lina hatihati, kama ni la afya bado lina hatihati. So there's nothing kwamba watanipa sababu kwa nini hawajafanya tangia wale wafanye sasa hivi, unaona. So for real, kwa swala la uhuru na haki na verifiable election, hiyo tusahau jamani. Wao wako kutimiza lao tu walioandikwa nalo haswa kulitimiza. Asante.
Okay, thank you. Maybe the last thing that I would want you to give your view on before we finish is the former ICT Cabinet Secretary Elwin Owalo launched People Prosperity Party (PPP). He says that he will challenge President Ruto's second term on the new party's ticket in 2027 general election. Bwana Msimamo, maoni yako ni yapi? Alafu utatupea maoni yako ya mwisho. You can give us your take on that and your
Sio kama unanipata. Hiyo PP ya Owalo inasemaje ni full?
People's Prosperity Party. People Prosperity Party.
So ni chama kipya ama ni nini?
Yes, I've just said that he did launch his party that is going to use in 2027.
Ataitumia 2027, si ndio? Kugombania nyadhifa kama vile DCP na vyama vingine, si ndio? Ndio, sijalifuatilia zaidi hili la Owalo, sasa wanauliza, na kama ni hivyo ni chama ametengeneza cha kujisimamia 2027, pengine wacha afanye hivyo, kwa sababu tuko na uhuru wa vyama vingi. Lakini je, lengo lake ni lipi? Kuweza kudikata kura na nini? Unajua vyama vingine pia ndio hivyo, ikiwa na wajumbe wawili, watatu, nne, tano, sita, wao ndio wanaongeza kapu baadaye. Tuliona 2022 kuona mambo kama haya kwamba majority imekuwa minority na minority imekuwa majority kwa vyama kama hivi ambavyo havina msimamo, vimetengenezwa kwa ajili ya jambo fulani ama lengo fulani. Kwa hiyo likiwa na wajumbe wake watatu, wanne, tano, mwisho wa siku wao ndio wataweza kuform na kukwiti pande hii na kurudi pande hii, ama waweze kuongeza hiyo kapu in case kutakuwa na minority upande fulani, ili kujaza tu na majority. Nafikiri huo ndio mfumo uliopo, unaona. So for me sioni kwamba sijalifuatilia kwa kina, nitalizamia zaidi, lakini nafikiri kwa haraka haraka kimtazamo wangu naona ni kama hivyo hivyo tu tulivyoona UDM ambao sasa hivi hatuisikii tena na wajumbe wake wanane, na mwisho wa siku katengeneza minority kuwa majority na majority kuwa minority. So unachukua tu mfano huu tu kwa hiki chama unachokizungumza cha people through what cha walo, kwamba kipo kwa mtazamo gani, kipo serious, na kama kipo serious mbona sijakiona haswa pande huu kikisimamisha wajumbe na kuzunguka the whole country. So for real, wacha tu niachie hapo, sitaki kuingia zaidi kwa sababu sijafanya research zangu kutokana na hili, unaona kaka, but hofu yangu ni hiyo, tusije tukajipata pale kwa UDM kilichofanya wakati ule, kwamba akiko kwa Azimio kisha mwisho wa siku akahama tena kinyume haswa na yale makataa yaliyowekwa kikatiba kwamba chama kinafaa kuvunjwa kwa muda fulani ama kujiunga kwa muda fulani. Bataikuwa hivyo kwa haraka haraka kikajaza kapu lile na kukaa na majority badala ya minority. So nafikiri ni mfumo kama hiyo, na kama pengine atasimama urais, basi ni hivyo hivyo tu kugawa kura, at least mwisho wa siku kuona kwamba fika kwamba labda pengine haswa kura za sehemu fulani zimeweza kuwa zimegawiwa, kwa sababu atapata fungu lake, kura zake 1,400, 1,300 zinapunguza pakubwa mazima haswa yale malengo haswa, kwa sababu always tunaelewa kwamba siasa ni a game of numbers. So tukichukulia hilo kwamba kama kutakuwa kuna yule ameweza kukata hii na yule amekata hili na pale amekata pale, basi itakuwa ni faida kwa mwingine ambaye anaamini haswa fika kwamba mwisho wa siku kama kutakuwa na wajumbe, basi ataokota na kuona fika kwamba anajaza kapu lake ili kusudi haswa ifikiwe kile kiwango ambacho kinahitajika. Kwako ndugu yangu Mark.
Okay, thank you so much, Bwana Msimamo. There is a question here that Goodyear is asking. I'm lost in the conversation. Goodyear, we were speaking about the party that was launched by the former cabinet secretary Eliud Owalo, that is the PP, People Prosperity Party, where the former cabinet secretary in charge of ICT is saying that he's going to challenge President William Ruto's second term, saying that he has the capability to, to pick up this particular fight as it is coming. That is what Eliud Owalo is saying, and so. Bwana Msimamo, I'll give you a chance if you...
Jamangu nikiingilia hili na wewe weka kwamba atashindana hapo na capability kata hai, lakini yale tu ya kutoa mzigo kutumkichwa na kuleta bigani tu. Chama hakijajulikana all over the country, hatujakijua haswa, hatujakiona hata pande zetu za huku na sehemu nyingine. So for real, kama nasema sawa, yuko na capability ya kuweza kuchange na kukabiliana haswa na kwamba anatosha haswa kuona fika kwamba anaweza kuona kwamba anaweza mpeleka nyumbani haswa kiongozi kwa hivyo. Ni wale tu Waarabu wa Pemba wanajuana kwa vilemba, ama kwa Wakorino wanachuana kwa vilemba. Maana tumeshashuhudia si moja mara moja, si mara mbili, haswa viongozi kupita haswa kutoka kwa serikali tena kupinga, lakini si kwa kupinga tu, kwa kutoa kwa mwanangu, lakini mwisho ni wale tu, unaona. Waarabu wa Pemba wanajuana kwa vilemba. Asante.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bwana Msimamo. Your last remarks, Msimamo, before we finish.
Langu la kufunga nalo kakangu Mark kwa haraka haraka ni kwamba wananchi tuna kibarua kigumu sana, lakini tuna kibarua chepesi kama tutaweza kujua jinsi gani ya kuweza kuchagua magugu na mbegu. Maana twendako tukumbuke kwamba kama hatutakuwa na busara na hekima na hofu ndani yetu haswa, basi kwa kweli tutagawiwa na tutatumika kama tishu, na urafiki huu ambao tunaoshuhudia kama vile vile ule Kalou, na mwisho wa siku tutakuja tujikaange wenyewe kwa mafuta yetu, kwa maana siku njema siku zote naamini huonekana usubuhi, na siku njema ya hili jimu ilivyoingia mpaka sasa hivi tuliona. So tusie tukadaika tu kwa haya matonge ya mkononi, kisha mwisho wa siku tukasaulishwa mvuleni. Umoja wetu kama taifa na kama wananchi haswa dhidi ya wa viongozi, wawe wa upinzani wawe wani, lakini wamekuwa soko siasa, lazima tuwe makini zaidi, kwa sababu siku zote wanasiasa watendekapo sipo walalapo, lakini vile vile tu unayemdania ndiye mwisho wa siku sie, lakini vile vile unayemwambia sie mwisho wa siku ndiye. Unaona, ndio nakuta kwamba wenyewe na mifumo wanazungumza kwamba there is no permanent enemy or permanent friend in politics, na hiyo siri hawatuambie kwa nini hakuna huo uadui wa kudumu, na hawatuambii kwa nini hakuna huo urafiki wa kudumu details, kwamba mbona wanaitumia tu wao. So for real ni wale wale tu, hawa wanaungana hapa kwa self interest, mwisho wa siku hawa wanatoka huko wanaingiana na huku, so mwisho wa siku tunaachiwa tu mdomo wazi wananchi, tukitumika tu ule wakati wa chaguzi, na tena tumeenda katika tabaka majamii ama ngome ama ushabiki wa chama, kisha mwisho wa siku tunatumika kama kanga wenye chongo tunafukulia wenye macho, ama tunatumika kama dau kuwavukisha haswa wanasiasa kuwavisha kufukweni, na kisha mwisho wa siku tunageuka kuwa gogo. Asante.
Thank you so much, Msimamo, for your views, for your take. And I think we are coming towards the end of this conversation. I just want to take this opportunity to acknowledge and to say a big thank you to our good friends at the comment section. Good dear, thank you so much for finding time to join us. I saw Brenda, thank you so much for also finding time to join us. We really appreciate your time and, of course, your presence. And allow me to also acknowledge the presence of June Wesley. Thank you so much, June, for also finding time to be with us this evening. We really appreciate. And there was Caroline Kabaka. Asante sana. Thank you so much for finding time to be with us as well. Zakaria Wino, thank you so much for finding time to be with us. There was Kevo Migori. Thank you so much as well for finding time to be with us. We really appreciate. As usual, over here, we do say that your opinion counts. And, we do have this kind of conversations on a daily basis. And, of course, we do share a link at the comment section. So, whenever you have interest or you want to give your views, you can always click the link. It will direct you to the studio and you can possibly have a chance, to give your view. Meanwhile, we've had a discussion on what is happening in the by-election in Kalou, where we are seeing the government side is doing quite a lot. There's a lot of goodies being taken to Kalou constituency by the government. We've seen gas cylinders, more than 20,000 were taken. We've seen mattresses were taken. We've seen, power supply is also in the process, and quite a lot. And the question that people are asking is this the right way to campaign? And what is the Iebc doing? Because if you remember what led to the nullification of the 2017 general election, it was issues I mean, it was a process. And of course, we remember very well the CJ then, Maraga did mention and clarify that an electioneering period is a whole process. It starts from a point and gets from a point. And whenever one section or one point is not handled rightly, then it would mean that the whole process would then not be fair and, of course, verifiable. Well, it is, the right of every Kenyan to ask and to participate and to give their views on what they are seeing. And currently, allow me to just read this. Goodyear is saying Ruto exercising power in the wrong way through bribes and rewards. Yeah, that is what we are seeing partly because we have quite a number of candidates. The best thing the best thing that the political parties would have done is they get to the ground, they campaign for their candidates without showing or trying to make it look like others are being, given extra support. If these candidates were using their money or probably they've been assisted by close allies, then it should not have gotten to the point that we are seeing. Even if you have money, to what extent? I don't think you'd be able to give the many goodies that we are seeing being given in this particular scenario. And that, of course, can clearly sets the question, and of course brings the many question that people would then ask. It also sets the ground on which this election might also be questioned based on the manner in which things are being run or based on the manner in which the process is being carried out. So that is what we've given part of our views on. We've also spoken about Honorable Atandi, who is coming out to warn youth, saying that they should not. You should you come to that car and my bodyguards or his security suspects you that you carry a weapon, they will just shoot you. And this is part of what we've been asking over here. The people who are shooting, the people who are stealing, the people who are doing all the negative things, they've been empowered, they've been bribed, they've been hired by the government. So when the government has used the resources they have to hire and to maintain the youths, the goons, and then now these goons are getting out of hand. They are moving around, snatching phones. They are moving around, taking people's properties. Today, the level of insecurity within the republic, within Nairobi, within the bigger cities, is on another level. The reason why these young people or these goons have this particular, they do not have any fear is because partly they had been hired, partly they had been protected. And so they see it or look at it as a normal thing. So it is upon the relevant authority, of course, the Department of Security, Interior Cabinet, to step in and ensure that they solve the level of insecurity that is getting out of hand for the betterment and for the good. So that we can have a good environment, an environment that is conducive, an environment that can that will make the economy to thrive, an environment that will be welcoming to the tourist. And so that would be my last remarks. Allow me to take this opportunity to appreciate and say a big thank you to everyone who joined us. And of course, remind you that over here we do say that your opinion counts. We are live on our channel, Brother Benson Media, and we are also live on our sister channel, Kikao na Sauti. We are also live on our Facebook platform. Allow me to take this opportunity to appreciate everyone who joined us. We appreciate and we say a big thank you. We hope that you will join us again tomorrow. Let me take this opportunity to wish you all a blessed morning, a blessed afternoon, a blessed evening, a blessed night from wherever you're watching us from. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you again tomorrow. Bye bye for today.